Look, I'm telling you, this stuff, you can't make it up. Like, this is ridiculous. My buddies over at Superhero Cuts, tweeted this out, thrown this out, what Jeff Snyder said over at the Insnider, saying that Daisy Ridley's Rey Skywalker is going to be positioned as the Obi-Wan Kenobi of this new Star Wars trilogy that we talked about the other day. And if you're not sure of what that is, that's this here. The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, we're talking about it. Deadline reported on it. Simon Kinberg writing, producing a new trilogy for Lucasfilm. Now, look, first off, this doesn't make any freaking sense. All right. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a powerful Jedi, a very knowledgeable Jedi, somebody who, let's look at it this way. He, in A New Hope, was somebody who had a lot of knowledge, a lot of influence and ability within the Force to start the training of Luke Skywalker. Now, yes, us as viewers, we did not know everything about Obi-Wan Kenobi. And that's kind of what was great about him, because we didn't know everything. But because of what little we knew, and because of the writing, we knew that, 1, he's an old Jedi. 2, he was in the Clone Wars. 3, he was a great Jedi and a Jedi Master. That's all we needed to know. But the fact that he was able to start the training of Luke Skywalker, pull him into the hero's journey, was fantastic. And absolutely, we saw him again very briefly in the second film and briefly again in the third movie. That is all we needed. That is what Obi-Wan did. We then saw Yoda, which was, much more attuned in the Force and much more of a big presence than Obi-Wan was. Utilizing Rey as an Obi-Wan, that is such a terrible, terrible idea. First off, as much as people want to try and make Rey a thing, Rey is not a thing. I get little girls may like Rey. That is fine. But when you look at the pantheon of the Jedi, when you look at the pantheon of Star Wars characters, Rey is not in the top 5. Rey's not probably even in the top 10 of Star Wars characters. So to make another trilogy around her, and then to even put her into this idea of her being even on the same level of Obi-Wan Kenobi, is just maddening. I've always said, you can go back and look at old videos on Bridging the Geekdoms. I've always said that, yes, they can fix Rey. They could absolutely fix Rey with a good trilogy, with good writing, with absolutely fleshing out her character. But to immediately go from the trilogy that we had, which was abysmal. I don't care what anybody says. That trilogy is abysmal. It is terrible. Her character arc is terrible. Her character arc is horrible. To go from that character arc to this trilogy and making her like Obi-Wan? No. That is... You can't do it. Now, I get that Jeff Snyder is a scooper, and he probably doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. That's very possible, and it's most likely true that he has no idea what he's talking about. This trilogy, a lot of us are speculating because there's no confirmation that this trilogy is even going to have anything to do with Rey. I think it's a good possibility. I think it makes sense that the writer of the Rey movie has walked away, the movie was delayed, and then a month later, this all happens. So to me, it makes sense. This completely makes sense. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is what's going to happen here? They really just can't. They cannot be serious about this. Like, if that is the route they go, Lucasfilm really has no idea what they're doing. Again, this whole idea of putting Rey as this on the level of Obi-Wan. They failed at putting Rey on the level of Luke. Now they're going to fail at putting Rey on the level of Obi-Wan. It's maddening. It's maddening. They're just slowly destroying Star Wars with this single character. Again, I want them to fix Rey. I've pointed out how they can fix Rey, but they're not doing it. All they continue doing is destroying Star Wars with this character. It has nothing else to do with except for the fact that it is a poorly written character. Fix the character, make her a well-written character, then, and only then, can you then establish her as a Obi-Wan-like character, and a character that can teach and train these other potential Jedi. She hasn't learned anything herself. She had no character arc herself. Like that's the problem that I'm seeing here. That's the problem. I don't know. Like, again, let me know what you guys think about this. I just think it's absolutely absurd. I don't know. Once again, we're at this point where we sit here and we look at Star Wars, we look at Lucasfilm, and they constantly just announce project after project after project with no real plan. No real plan, and it's just going to be a complete disaster. That's what it's going to be, a complete and utter disaster. I don't know. They just need to calm down. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. And with all that said, I'll catch you all later.